Hey chickies, okay, today we're doing some pretty butterflies and I'm going to show you how to make some fancy schmancy decals. I really hope you like it. Let's get into it. So these are the polishes I'm using, single white female, which is not in the Pretty Pastels pack. Then we have this gorgeous hot pink, it's called Be Happy, so yummy. This is my favorite, like my all-time favorite. It's called I Feel Good. It's a minty yum with lots of little rainbow glitters. It's just beautiful. And then finally the lilac, which is a dancing queen. It's got slightly larger little rainbow glitters in it, but it's still a very pretty polish. Starting off by painting all of my nails with 2 coats of single white female. Just 2 coats and you're opaque. Yay. Once that was completely dry, I added a good coat of I Feel Good on my ring fingernail, and I'm going to come in and do a second coat of that. Just makes it really yummy and squishy. Next, on my index nail, I'm going to add a couple of coats of Dancing Queen, which is the lilac purpley colour. Now, as you can see, this takes a little more getting moving around with the glitters because they're slightly larger. If you want particular style or particular color glitters in particular areas, you'll just move them around with your brush while you're still doing it. It's actually quite easy to do. And then finally I'm going to add 2 coats of Shishi Cosmetics Be Happy, which is that neon creamy hot pink. It's very pretty. So now we're going to do our fancy schmancy decals. Now all you're going to need is something like a silicone mat, some parchment paper, a Ziploc bag, something like that. Something that you can peel the polish up off of, because what we're going to do, we're going to use those 2 creamy glitter polishes, and we're going to paint just a little square. You can paint as big a one or as little one as you like, depending on the, well, you'll see. Anyway, as you can see, these are the size of my little squares, and I'm going to do a couple of layers and then we're going to let them dry. So you know how I like to give you an indication of time it takes for you to, like cups of tea time? This would be about 2 or 3. It does take a long time for them to dry completely, so I'm just warning you, just letting you know. You're going to have to prepare this in advance. So, like, this is what I've prepared earlier. That kind of thing, yeah. We're waiting for those to dry. I'm going to show you my little hole punch, because this is how we're going to make these fantastic little decals using a hole punch. You can get these from any kind of craft store. These are just some really cheap ones I picked up from my local craft store. You want them, the hole punch to be small enough to fit on your nail, obviously, otherwise what's the point? But you can get bucket loads of these things these days. We don't have a great massive range in my craft store, but I got some butterflies and some stars and things like that, and that sort of seems to work fine for me, so yay. Okay, so we've had a couple of cups of tea and we want to check and see if they're dry or not yet. Now, best thing to do is to, and this actually, I found out later, that this actually helps them to dry even faster. When they get to a certain stage where they feel dry to the touch, but then when you go to lift them up, they feel a little bit soft and sort of rubbery, I guess you'd say. I would try and peel them off, but be really careful. Try and peel them off and then turn them over and let them dry on the other side as well. Like, they won't be super duper wet or anything, but this just will make sure that when you do, it does come time for you to make the actual decals out of them, that they are completely dry. So that's what I did. It worked really well. Okay, so now we're ready to make some little butterfly decals out of these little pieces of polish that we've created. Now, as you can see, this is a fairly tiny little hole punch, so if you can grab yourself one of these, that's great. There are plenty of others on the market, so, and I think they're relatively cheap, so even if you buy a couple and they don't work, that's fine, really. You could just give them away to someone that you love. Okay, so you grab your little thing and then you throw it in there and then you punch the hole and you that, there you have it. Look, there's a little butterfly. It's so cute. I love it so much. I used to love doing this. I haven't done it for such a long time. I think the last time I did this was like 2012. That's how long it's been. I actually posted it on Instagram. So if you care to go down that far, by all means, take a trip down memory lane on my Instagram account. So obviously the next step is to just get them on your nails. So the only way you can do that is to make the surface of your nail sticky. You can use a thin top coat, or you can even use a base coat to do this. That's what I did. I used an Essie all-in-one base coat because it's actually quite sticky. So I thought even if it takes me a while to place them on my nail, it's not going to make a difference. It's still going to be sticky. So that worked out really well. And then just stick them wherever you like. Really, it's not a big deal. Now, before top coating and for my own peace of mind, I wanted to gel the mani together, so I decided to add some random little dots in different places all around my nail, around the little butterflies. That was completely off the top of my own head. I wasn't even sure if I was going to do it, and then I changed my mind and decided yes, I would do it. So I think it actually made a massive difference to the way the whole thing looked in the end. Now the final step is to add a good quality top coat to seal your butterflies in and make everything lovely and smooth. And of course I'm using Seche Vite as per usual. And that's it for this one. I really hope you liked it. I love how it turned out, don't I always? Now, have you remembered, or did you know there's another giveaway live now? It's week 2. You can win the Pretty Pastels box. Plus, you can also win a whole lot of other stuff from She Cosmetics because they're super, super generous. Now, also, don't forget to watch my previous video, and which, by the way, that was the video that had the winners announced on it from last week's giveaway. So if you haven't seen that yet, you should really go and check that out. And anyway, don't forget to subscribe, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I'm going now. Bye.